Hi, this is Kathy from Craft with Kathy. Thanks for joining me this evening. Tonight I want to do a little bit of a basic how-to chalk. I know I've had a lot of new followers in the last few weeks, and I want to basically start with the fundamentals on how to chalk. From the simplest project to more complex, and I'm going to go over it step by step. And basically, if you ever have any questions, you could use this little video as basically a refresher, if you will. Now, if you're not familiar with chalk, I'm going to go from the basics, and just feel free to jump on in with any questions that you may have. I'm happy to answer them. I'm coming at you from the suburbs west of Chicago. Drop me a line. Let me know where you're viewing from. Say hello, and like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the comments and I will answer them as we go along. If I don't see them initially, I will definitely get back to you later. Even if you're watching this on the replay, just drop a question in the comments and I'm happy to give you any answers or whatever that you might, to whatever that you may have. If you are not familiar with chalk, let me explain a little bit about what it is and what it is not. It is not using stencils. We use something called transfers, and we do not use chalk paint. We use chalk paste that is actually made from chalk. So a little bit of differences. And I just want to start off by showing you all the different types of things. Hi, Tammy, how you doing? That you can actually chalk on. You can chalk on chalkboard, and that's what I'm going to demo tonight. You can chalk on metal. This is galvanized metal that I put Christmas sentiment on one side, and a few weeks ago I did something suitable for Thanksgiving. You can chalk on wood. This is just a whitewashed wood block. So is this. Aren't these cute? These little heart cutouts. You can chalk on glass. Another little project in a shadow box on glass. Chalking on pleather, fake leather. Canvas or fabric. And this is on a t-shirt. So you could chalk on just about any type of surface, which makes it really cool, very versatile, very easy. We basically have two different mediums that are used. We have chalk paste, which goes on liquid. It's our Chalkology paste, proprietary Chalkology paste, and we have ink. The chalk paste is used when you want the project to be temporary. The ink is when you need it, when you want it to be permanent. And the ink needs to be heat set. So when I did this t-shirt, I used ink and then I heat set it with a heat press. You can also use an iron. But the ink can be used on obviously fabric, metal, ceramic, that type of thing. But it does need to be heat set to make it permanent. The chalk paste can be used on anything else. It can also be used on fabric that is not going to be washed. So this was used with the chalk paste. So there's a lot of flexibility there. I am going to be demonstrating tonight using the chalk paste. Just know that you could do things on a lot of different surfaces. There's a lot of variety. People have even chalked their appliances, chalked their walls. Someone chalked their microwave last week with You Make Me Melt. People have chalked their oven doors, okay? So you could do lots of different things. And not everything is small, like, not that everything is the small of a size project. You can obviously chalk larger things. Our transfers run the gamut from a size of 5 by 7 inches to 18 by 24. This is something I did a few weeks back for the fall, and this is on an 18 by 18. I'm a little bit too close to the camera. It's an 18 by 18 surface, and a frame surface, and it turned out very, very nice. And I used multiple colors here and a couple different techniques. So you can do larger signs also. Just know that that's available. So I'm going to jump right in. If you are not familiar to chalking, I'm going to talk about a couple different ways that you can become familiar. We do have sample kits available for $7.95, and I will put the link in the comments. That's one way, and the little sample kit gives you a little transfer, a design, a small wooden tag, and chalk paste to create your little creation. Or you can use one of our Try Me kits, and we have one right now called Trio of Trees. I don't have Trio of Trees available, but it is actually done on our board and base, and our board and base can be used horizontally or vertically. There's a little slit in the base, and it's double-sided. So this is another nice entryway into chalking. And our Try Me kits are generally around $22, $24, something like that, and they come with everything that you need. And then we have a subscription package that is $19.99 a month, and that is our Club Couture. And with Club Couture, you get a larger transfer, an 8.5 by 11, and this is December's Club Couture transfer that was used here. And it comes with 3 individual paste colors so that you can create without giving a lot of thought to it. The colors are specifically selected to go with the transfer. This I used ink, I did not use paste, and this is not the colors that came with it. December's Club Couture comes with Couture Teal, Eucalyptus, and Peachy Keen. And basically the teal is kind of good for using it one color for the whole design, and the Peachy Keen and the Eucalyptus is nice for doing the leaves and the flowers. Anyway, I'm going to hop right in on this and demonstrate how to chalk. Now, one of the easiest surfaces for someone to begin with is the board and base, because it's a chalkboard, and if you make a mistake, all you have to do is spritz it with a little bit of water and wipe it off with a paper towel, and you could redo it. Or if you tire of the design, our chalk paste goes on liquid, but does dry hard. So create your little masterpiece, have it sit out for a couple weeks. If you decide you want to put something else on it, just spritz the chalkboard with water and wipe it off with a paper towel, and you could reuse it for a different design. To get started, what I always suggest is that someone starts with a chalkable chip. We have chalkable chips in white and in black. They're little 3-inch rounds, and you could actually put a little magnet on the back and make it a refrigerator magnet, or punch a little hole in it and put it on a keychain as just a little adornment or an embellishment. But I find that starting on a chalkable chip is an easy way to practice until you get your technique down. And there's really not that much to do with it. In essence, it really is so simple, you're just not going to believe it. Here's a little individual packet of paste, and this is good for 1, 2, or possibly 3 projects, depending upon the size of the project. Our paste does come in 3-ounce jars, and so does our ink. But I'm going to show you how to use the little paste packet. This happens to be Shimmer Gold, which has a little bit of sparkle to it. Before you use your paste packet, you want to massage or knead that packet and soften up the paste that's inside. I like using a little color tray when I'm using the packets so that I could squeeze a little bit of paste out into my color tray before I use it. And what I just realized is I didn't bring out a transfer here that I needed. Let me just take a look. I'm going to put this on my board and base, but I just needed a little sample to show you how to do it on the chalkable chip. And I'm just, of course, looking for scissors that, of course, I don't see. I move so many things around on my table that I'm not quite sure where I put everything. Okay, let me just kind of dig around here. Okay, anyway, you massage your little paste packet and make sure this is kind of workable. We have a new texture to our paste. It is called Creamy Dreamy Paste, and it's real easy to use and stays pretty soft because, you know, it is chalk paste. So when you use this, you want to use a little bit of care with it in that you don't want it to dry out, because it is, of course, made from chalk paste. Made from chalk. I'm scrounging for scissors, which of course I'm not finding. Oops. Okay, I know I stuck a little tiny scissors in this drawer yesterday, so let me dig around in here. Of course I'm not finding it. How embarrassing is this? It's been a strange week with a lot of deliveries, and I suspect my scissors are actually in the other room from opening up boxes. So I'm just looking for something that I can use without going in the other room. I will just use a rotary cutter. Now I am using self-healing mat here. You could, if you don't have a self-healing mat, just use a paper, a plastic tablecloth on your surface to protect your surface. Okay, so this is my little transfer. This happens to be, it looks like a little VW wagon to me. And I'm going to use this and do it at the chalkable chip. So I've massaged my paste packet. And here I am back down to needing a scissors. I need to cut it open. Well, wait, let me get the rotary cutter. Oh my goodness. Okay, generally what you want to do is just clip a little area at the top of your packet. So you massage or knead your paste. Then you push the paste down. Generally, I open it on the bottom side instead of the top because I like this color block to still be there so that I could easily see what color paste it is. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to open it from the bottom. So I've just kneaded this up a little bit. I've squeezed the paste down so that it's right up on top because I don't want it to squish out of my packet. And I would just snip the edge. And then I'm going to take some out of there using a little stir stick. And I use these little plastic stir sticks when I'm working with my paste, sometimes in the jar or even in the little individual packet like this. Because, like I said, this is chalk paste. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm struggling a little bit here. This is chalk paste, and as such, it can dry out easily. So if I used a popsicle stick as a stir stick instead of my little plastic stick, the wood from the popsicle stick would actually cause it to wick up and dry out. It would suck up the moisture. Okay, so I have a little bit of paste on my stir stick. Then I'm going to take a fuzzing towel. If you don't have a fuzzing cloth, use a towel, use a sweater, use a pair of jeans. The idea behind this is, one side's terry, I want to deliberately apply fuzz or lint to the back of this transfer. Now this is a transfer, not a stencil. And here's the differences. It is made out of vinyl, which is the teal portion, and silkscreen. And you are actually seeing through the silkscreen to the white carrier sheet behind it. And it's that silkscreen that gives us such a beautiful, crisp result. The transfers are adhesive backed. Carrier sheet has one side that's kind of like freezer paper. It's kind of glossy. They're adhesive backed and they're reusable 8 to 12 times or more. So I'm just smoothing it on my little fuzzing cloth, lifting it up, smoothing it again, lifting it up. I'm deliberately putting on a little bit of lint to diminish its stickiness before I use it on my surface, because it's brand new and it's going to be pretty sticky. You will fuzz a different amount depending upon your surface. On chalkboard, generally, I would fuzz maybe 3 times. However, if I was applying this to something that was non-porous, same with wood, I would fuzz about 3 times. If I was putting it on fabric or canvas, I wouldn't fuzz it at all because I'm putting it on fabric. But if I was putting it on glass, like my glass bottle or my metal little container, I would fuzz quite a lot, because a non-porous surface, it sticks to very, very strongly and can present a bit of an issue when you go to lift it up off of the surface. So you want to fuzz to deliberately diminish the adhesiveness. So now I've got my little paste on my stir stick. I'm just putting it on my transfer, and then I'm going to use this little squeegee. You can see that one side is thinner, and I'm going to apply it over the silk screen with my squeegee. And my squeegee, I'm holding it as I go across the surface in almost a 90-degree angle. I want to push it through the silk screen and kind of scrape it or remove the excess as I go along. If I change my angle a little bit, it's just to get the paste off of my squeegee. And I'm holding this with my finger so that it doesn't scoot as I actually work it around here. And as you can see, that was just a little bit of paste that I squeezed out or took out of that packet. And it just about has this totally covered. So a little bit of paste goes a long way. Now, if I was using my jars of paste, I would take this, take the excess, smooth it out, make sure I've got everything covered, remove any excess, and put it back in my jar. That's why I only squeeze a little bit out of my packet, or take a little bit out. And then I'm going to lift the transfer up. Lift from the top, the bottom, the left, or the right. Never pull or tug on the corners, because our transfer is kind of like fabric, and you don't want to pull or distort that silk screen and stretch it. So I'm lifting up from the side. Wow, look at this. Never look back. Look at how beautiful the definition is on this project. And look at how quick and easy that was. Now, like I said, our paste goes on liquid, but it will dry to a hard finish. So I'm going to set this aside. There's a little bit of shimmer in here. This is our shimmer gold. And our shimmer paste takes a little bit longer to dry than our other paste. Figure between about 5 and 8 minutes. So I'm going to just set this aside to dry. And in the meantime, show you how you maintain your transfer so that you get multiple uses out of them. It really is very, very simple. I have this little water bath, in a plastic container. It's only about a ½ inch of water that I have in there. And I'm going to take this transfer and set it down into the water. And then I'm just going to massage the paste off of it with my fingers. You want to get as much paste as you can off of the front and the back as you can. If you have a board eraser, you can use the board eraser, and I have one out here. Let me just grab it. Our board eraser is good for getting the paste off and also for removing any staining. Some of our deeper pigmented pastes can actually stain the surface of your transfer, but that does not diminish its usability by any at all. It basically just would have a little stain to it or discoloration. So I'm going to try and remove as much as I can off. I'm going to squeeze out the water out of my eraser here, board eraser, and take a look at it here. I can see a little bit better there. Okay, it looks like I've removed it all. Okay, and then I want to make sure I don't have fuzz on the back. You could just kind of roll this off with your fingers in water. If you have a difficult time with that, you can also use a disinfecting wipe to finish up cleaning. Let me show you how to do that. I don't always use them. I probably don't need it in this particular case, but let me show you how to use it anyway. You just take the disinfecting wipe, wipe off the top that you applied the paste. Make sure there's no paste left in the silk screen, and generally you would see it on your cloth. There's nothing left. Flip it over and then clean the back of the transfer. Make sure there's no paste in the silk screen there, and then wipe across it. Whoops, this is a juicy disinfecting wipe. Let me squeeze some of that moisture out. Wipe across it to remove any of the lint that you deliberately applied. And then basically put it aside, sticky side up, to dry. And when it is dry, let me clean up my surface a little bit here. When it is dry, I'll put the glossy side of this carrier sheet against the adhesive side of that transfer, so that then I could put it back in its little package for a subsequent use. That is really all there is in maintaining your transfers. Just wash them in. You could actually wash them under running water at your sink. If you're using a very large transfer, like our 18 by 24 inch transfers, you can put it in your shower. Use the spray and wash it there if that's easier. I'm just moving my water bath out of the way. And now I'll get on to the real project, right? Let me make sure my surface is dry here. This is the Joyful transfer, and I'm going to do this on our board and base. And pretty much it's a repeat of what I've already done. I'm going to remove this from the little plastic cellophane envelope that it's in. All of our transfers come in little cellophane envelopes, whether there are small 5x7s or large 18 by 24 transfers, same thing. And on the back of the cellophane envelope are the instructions for cleaning the transfer and how to use it. So if you're ever at a loss, obviously feel free to review this video, but the instructions are also printed on the back of the cellophane envelope. So I'm going to remove this transfer from its backing. Just rolling my finger across will usually, along the edge, will usually get it to lift up. Pull the backer off of it. I'm going to fuzz it on my little fuzzing cloth here to diminish the adhesiveness. And then I'm going to put it on my chalkboard from my board and base. Now, remember that our board and base fits in a wooden base that has a slit in it. So about a ½ inch of this chalkboard will end up in the base. So I want to allow for that. I don't want to put it at the bottom of my board. I'm going to put this more towards the top. Just lay it down. I want to make sure that I don't have an air bubble underneath my silk screen. If you do, just lift it up and smooth it out. You do not have to press hard, just gently press down, feel for any air bubbles. I don't feel anything, that feels all good. And then basically the same thing I've done. Squeeze some paste out of your packet into a color tray. If you don't have a color tray, you could use a little dish. Our paste is water soluble, so it's easy to clean up and it won't damage anything. So I'm just squeezing a little bit out there. When I'm done, I'm going to show you what you do to preserve the paste that's still in there, because there's plenty more left in that little packet. And I'm just going to apply it over my transfer across the silk screen, like I said, and pretty much a 90-degree angle for most of it, unless I'm scraping the paste off onto my surface. And a little paste goes a long, long way. Let me scoop up a little bit more here. Once I have it fully applied and through the silk screen, I want to take a look, make sure I don't have any lines or clumps of paste on it, smooth them out if I do, and remove the excess. And like I said, if you've got a lot squeezed out into your little tray or dish, you might want to try and find a container that you could put it back into, something that is airtight, to keep it for subsequent use, or just realize, get a couple different things out that you're going to work out in one time and use up the whole paste packet. And I missed a little silk screen right there. I'm going to lift this up to look at it because I have the light overhead off because it creates a little bit too much of a reflection. So I just want to make sure I have coverage really good here. If I accidentally went off of this surface and went onto the chalkboard, all I would have to do is take a damp paper towel and wipe it off before it dries. And if it dries, then I just spritz it with water, or again with a paper towel, a damp paper towel, and rub it off. Now I'm going to lift from the side. Remember, always the top, the bottom, the left or the right, never from the corner. Peel and reveal. How quick and simple was that? Isn't this beautiful in its detail? So I'm going to set this aside to dry, and let me show you how you basically preserve the paste in your paste packet. I can't put this back in, so ideally I would do another project and use this, but I'm going to try and squeeze whatever paste came up to the top when I squeezed it out back down into the paste packet. I'm going to clean my top over here a little bit because I have a little bit of paste coming out the top. And then I'm going to roll this top down, fold it over a couple times, and basically so it's airtight. And then I will either take a paper clip and clip it, or a piece of washi tape, or actually we have something called placement tape that I have handy right here. It's kind of like a washi tape, but it has a ruler on it. And it's great for marking off part of a transfer if you do not want to chalk the whole transfer. Sometimes you only want part of a design and you don't want to have the paste go through the entire silk screen. And then the placement tape is great for not only holding your transfer in place, but also for protecting it from you pasting over that area you don't want to paste. And I'm having a hard time finding the beginning, just like a roll of tape, right? Oh, that's funny. I don't think this is a new roll. I just can't find the end. Here we go. Like I said, it's like washi tape. So I will just put it over here to hold it in place. Now, remember I said I opened this upside down, so I kept this color block at the bottom. This is so that I could easily see that this is the shimmer gold. If I had cut off this area and then rolled this down, I wouldn't know what color paste it is. So that's just my little trick in making it easier to use in the future. So, again, let me grab my little water bath here. And obviously you can run this over to the sink and clean it. And I'm going to just put my little transfer in my water bath. I'm going to take my board eraser and wipe the paste off of the top of the transfer. Obviously, if I was using a larger transfer, I would have a bigger water bath, or I would actually be doing it over at the sink. I'm going to squeeze out this board eraser, flip it over, kind of rub the back so that I get any paste out of the silk screen off the adhesive side. Kind of wipe off the lint that I deliberately applied. That rejuvenates the adhesiveness so that it's nice and sticky for the next time that you're using it. And I'm going to pull it out, take a quick look at it here to make sure it looks clean. Give it a little once over. See, I missed some of the paste here with my board eraser, and clean that off so it doesn't stain it. Quick and easy. Go over it back with my disinfecting wipe if you want to. Clean the back. Make sure I don't, whoops, that is what you don't want to do. So slow down and take your time. Clean off the back. Remove any lint and any paste from the silk screen. And then set it aside to dry. I'll put it over here. Let me dry off my surface here. We'll take a look at that chalkable chip that I did a little while ago. This is fully dried. Now, if I use my fingernail, obviously I could scrape across it, but I could dry dust this. If you're doing it on glass or mirror or anything, I would not use like Windex or any type of, I wouldn't use anything that I wet and then went over with a paper towel, because then you will remove it. But to dry dust, it's fine. You're not going to harm it. And same with the other chalkboard when that's dry. And the same thing holds true if you're using our paste on wood or glass or canvas or whatever. Wait till it dries, and then it's safe to handle. If you're using our inks, remember the ink has to be heat set to make it permanent. So my transfer here has dried, and notice it's renewed the adhesiveness. And then I'm going to take my backer. Always put your glossy side of your backer against the sticky side of your transfer. Never try to apply your transfer to the backer, because it's adhesive and it's going to get stuck to your fingers. So just line up a corner, gently press down, smooth it out, and then you could put it back in this little cellophane envelope. And that's basically it for the care. Just wait till it dries before you put the backer on, and that's all there is to it. Now, I know both of these projects were a little plain. However, let me show you what you could do. Here's the board and base. Here's the base. This hasn't fully dried, so I'm going to be careful in handling it when I put it into the base. Oops. I had another one out here. Let me grab it and show you what I did. Here's the plain base. And I could just set it in there and set it on my desk or whatever. Or I could take it up, kick it up a notch, add a little bit of embellishment to my base for my board and base, just a little gold ribbon that I tied in a little bow, and I took a couple little flowers and 2 glue dots and glue dotted them on. And kicked it up a notch. How simple and easy was that? So basically, in about a half hour, I mean, we did this little demo with the chalk chip, but we created this project from start to finish. We've cleaned the transfer. All we have to do is put its carrier sheet on the back and put it away, and we're done. Simple, quick, and easy way of creating your own do-it-yourself home decor. If you would like more information about obtaining a sample, just comment sample below. If you would, I'll put the link to our Try It kit, our trio of trees, also in a comment. If you would like information about our Club Couture and how every month you get direct delivery to your door of an hour or so of creative bliss where you can create your project over and over and over again. 1 8.5 by 11 size transfer, 3 individual color coordinated paste packets. No muss, no fuss. You don't have to decide on the design. You don't have to decide on the paste packets or the color combo that you want to use. That's all handled by Chalk Couture for you, and it's delivered straight to your door for $19.99 a month. How simple is that? And remember, our transfers can be used 8 to 12 times or more. So, create it for yourself, create it for a friend. Put it aside when you need a gift, pull it out and use it again. Easy, simple way, and you get 8 to 12 times or more uses out of an individual transfer. So if you'd like more information about Club Couture, comment club below and I will send you the link of some more information. If you would like to do what I do or like to know about what it involves to be a designer, comment team below and I'll send you a link to a video that tells you all about it. Questions, drop them in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful holiday. See you soon.